double whammy, 2 videos. Wow. So, as you can see, my mood has completely changed since like the last video I literally just uploaded. And that's because this is what being bipolar is like. Not really, honestly. I still feel like entirely like crap, and my intrusive thoughts are still like in my mind, but I feel better about it, and I'm able to put on a fake and brave face for everybody in the world. And I can explain to y'all how sort of I'm doing that. So, my last video I talked a lot about being in crisis because of a recent breakup I was in, and about how I was feeling essentially mad at myself, not necessarily angry at the person, but angry at their actions and things that transpired, and feelings of like betrayal and all of that. And I feel like there needs to be more context. And so essentially, the person I was talking to, Apple, we weren't talking, we broke up. It was a messy breakup. I'm pretty sure we both felt very sad. I was not there how I used to be. I think I talked about needing space in a lot of my videos. I was not there like I should have been. I think I talked a lot about needing space in a lot of my videos because I was coming off of my medication, essentially. In my mind, I put a quota on it, which was stupid of me. I was like, I need 2 weeks, maybe a month. I didn't know at the time, to sort of get my life back on track. I wasn't on medication. I really needed the time to basically get my routine in place, get my work routine in place. I hadn't been home. I had been traveling. All of these things, plus relationship, was just a lot at the time, but I knew I really cared for Apple, and I didn't want to break up. I just wanted a break. That sort of manifested into them wanting to take a breakup, and here we are, not together. And I sort of realized yesterday, it's that fresh, y'all. Yesterday that like, if I want something, you should fight for it. And I could be like, fuck you, I'm moving on. But that's just not how I feel. So I fought for it, and we're repairing things, sort of. I don't know. But that's not the point. I wanted to talk to y'all about more. I haven't done a video about this, honestly, because I haven't really been feeling it. What my intrusive thoughts mean, and sort of how that has related towards my relationships, and sort of how I've been feeling within that. So I talk a lot about, with my bipolar disorder, hearing voices, and intrusive thoughts and all that jazz. Now, I don't think I've ever really heard voices per se. Maybe once when I was going through psychosis and I didn't really know what the hell was going on. Sorry. Oftentimes, it's just my own voice. So I hear, like, it's the same voice that's like, oh, when you wake up, it's like, what the fuck is that noise? It's the alarm clock. You turn it off. You're like, oh, another day. You hear that voice in your mind. It's like your own voice. You hear that saying it. You're like, okay, go take a shower now. Or when you're running out the door, you're like, oh, I forgot that piece of paper. Or when you're in traffic and you're like, oh, this sucks. Or it doesn't always have to be negative. It can also be positive, like, I really am hungry right now. You're at work doing stuff, and the voice in your mind that you're thinking to yourself, you're essentially thinking to yourself, I'm hungry, I want Subway. That sounds really good right now. You're just doing work. And that's the voice that I hear. I hear my own voice, except sometimes, a lot of times, I hear it extremely loudly, like it's overbearing, and it's telling me things like, hate yourself, or these people hate you, and it's like extremely loud, and it's not like just guiding me throughout the day. It's almost like it has like a mind of its own. So instead of me being able to control my thoughts, like, that person has a nice dress on, it'll be like, that person over there is looking at you funny and they hate you. And it's like, bro, it gets to the point where it's like I can literally talk to it, or I talk to myself, and like be like, why are you saying these things? Like, why are you like doing this to me? Like, why are you like, what's wrong with you? And it's gotten to a point where like, it's become so loud that like I've had to talk to myself. I think the first time it happened was in my AP psychology class in high school, and my friend, my really good friend, came over to me and she was like, "Yo, are you good? Because like it looks like you're talking to yourself." And I'm like, I am talking to myself because this thing in my mind like won't get out, and it's like annoying because it's telling me all these things that I don't know to be true, but it makes it feel like it's so real. And now, unfortunately, there's a whole bunch of these fuckers. So this also might just sound batshit crazy. I basically call them the Council of Julius. There's a whole council of them, and they're all me. It's like, imagine, have you ever seen Rick and Morty? Like the Council of Ricks or whatever they call it. It's like those, except they're not like smart or anything, and it's like a lot less of them. It's like 10 of them. They're all in my mind. It just sounds like just bad shit crazy. They're in my mind. They're all me, but they all have different personalities. So they all are either sad, they're super happy, super manic, super like suicidal, super angry. They all have different personalities, and they all weigh on different decisions, which also perpetuates my anxiety and perpetuates my feelings of like just my feelings in general, things that like I shouldn't be feeling. So typically, like, they have not really been active at all, really since like September, I think. I was still on my lithium medication in September, but I was going through a lot of behavioral sadness, missing old friendships, missing school. I was feeling really lonely. So again, like I said, lithium medication does not fix anything. It just was made it easier to deal with them and tell them to shut up. Now that I'm not on lithium anymore, it's been a thing. So essentially, I broke up with Apple, and all of the council was telling me that like half of them were saying, you're a bad bitch, listen to some music, go hook up with everyone you can. You don't need this person. It was never going to work out in the first place. You don't want it. Like, screw it. The other part of me was saying, like, if you really want this to work, which you clearly do because you're so fucking sad over it, then you need to like go make it work. You need to suck up your pride because pride means nothing in this situation, and you need to express your feelings because you never do that. And if you could just express your feelings, at least you could look back on it with no regrets and know that you did everything that you possibly can. Other part of me was just like, we should kill ourselves. That's just, it's not funny. It's like really serious. But the fact that like I would just do that based off of like what was happening sounds like I'm pretty insane. Because it is. It's like literally like life has been blown up. Like this relationship's not working. Like work is hard. Everything. Like it's just that as soon as I start feeling the pressure and the stress, it's like that's what we got to do. That's what we got to do, and that's the best solution. And it comes to the point where like these feelings are so strong that like it's not, it's one, it has me answering them out loud. Like I have to talk to them like, yo, shut up. Or like, no, I'm not doing that. Or like, you make no sense. And I'll sit there and I'll just like have a conversation with myself because it's like all these different personalities in my head are so real. They don't sound like other people. They're my own voice, but they are so real and so different that like I have to talk to them like it's somebody else. I think the biggest part has been that like Apple essentially was with somebody else. Once we were broken up though, so it's like it's cool. It's not cool, but like that, like it was a week later, a week, and old me, actually not even old me, like normal me would be like, cool, like I did the same shit, like I broke up with someone, rebound, like you got to do that, but for some reason I don't feel that way. Some people in the council are pissed at them. They think that Apple deserves the big like fuck you, and for me to be like, screw this, I'm not doing this again. Like have a nice life, which I've kind of already said. But we can't do that because we're trying to work this out, and that's what we want. At least half of us want that. And then it's also kind of just like, what the fuck, you came back just to be like, screw you. Other part of me is just like, we were broken up. Like I have no, like yes, I can feel hurt because it was only a few days after we broke up, but it wasn't like there's nothing happened that was bad, if that makes sense. The other part of me is saying like I feel heartbroken. I feel like I physically can't go on, which is weird. I don't feel this way. I don't catch feelings. Like, what is this? But like, part of me is just like, I can't go on if I know that this person does not feel the same way that I feel about them, which is insane because I did not think that I cared more about them than they cared about me. And maybe at one point that wasn't true, but it definitely is true now. That person has lost feelings, not completely, but the feelings they had towards me have changed. And a large part of the council up there is telling me, like, you should just off yourself, or you should just go hurt yourself, or you're never going to find anyone who cares about you because you ruined everything. And it's just making me super, super sad. Long story short, I have all these different voices in my head that's making it super hard for me to understand what I want, what I need, what I should be doing. And the best way I ignore those is by sleeping. So, like I said, I took a whole bunch of Xanax and I fell asleep because I honestly did not want to feel like not living. I didn't want to feel angry either. I hate feeling this pain and this hurt, this feeling of betrayal. It feels like my heart fell out, like I said, and is flopping around like fish. I wish I didn't care. I honestly, part of the council, part of the people in my mind are like, why do I care at all? Like, it's me. I should not care. If anything, I should go out there right now and be with 1,000 people. No, well, not 1,000. That's gross. I should go out there and hook out with some people myself, and then I can get over it, and everything will be good. And this makes no sense. But if I did that, that would just blow things up even more. So I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't even know how I'm feeling. I have all these feelings mixed up, and I can't even talk to the person about it. One, because it's not appropriate to tell the person, hey, you didn't cheat on me, but you did sleep with someone else that made me feel some type of way, even though we were broken up. It broke my heart, and I don't know if I can look at you the same way or even like touch you, because the last person who touched you was not me. It was some other random person who got to do that, and now it's eating at me, and I feel that way, but at the same time I don't feel that way, and I know I'll get through this. I know I'll be fine, like it is, but the feelings are so strong because I don't understand. If I wouldn't do it, and I being like the biggest asshole in the world, not necessarily, I'm a sweetheart, but my friends would say, like, if I'm not the one doing it, then like how the hell is someone else able to do that? Like, if you loved somebody, in my mind, the other part of the council is just saying, like, I loved this person, they loved me. How do you sleep with someone that, like, days? I can understand if it was like a week, 2 weeks. I can understand if it was like a month. I can understand all of that. But like 3-4 days, like afterwards, like, what? Like, that's what's going through my mind. It's like, how? Like, was it out of spite? Was it out of like anger? Was it out of you not caring? Was it out of them just, I don't know. And this is the problem with having all of these things in your mind circling around, trying to tell you different things. Because I'm going insane, you guys. And right now, I honestly, the voices or the council is super, super, super like quiet. Not much is going on, but I'm worried that I'll wake up in the morning and it'll start all over again. It'll distract me from my work. It'll distract me from my day. And I know things get better because things have already gotten better. I feel a lot better about it, but it's still in the back of my mind. And I'm afraid that it's going to cost me my relationship that I don't have because it's not fixed yet. And I can't talk to that person about it I can talk to you guys about it though, which is just as great. This video is 15 minutes long, and I feel like I have not fully conveyed how I am feeling, because I know how irrational it is. I know how unfair it is. I know all of these things. So then why do I feel this way? Am I allowed to feel this way? Obviously, I'm entitled to my feelings, but so is the other person. I just feel betrayed. But why? I think a lot of it has to deal with my attachment disorder, and I'm gonna look at that. I'm gonna try to figure that out. I think it's nothing to do with them. I don't think it's anything to do with me. I think it's just stuff that I have unresolved in my past that I'm now bringing up here. And yeah, because obviously if this person didn't want to be with me, they wouldn't be trying to work things out with me. I just hope that I can get past this point, and stop listening to the voices that are in my head telling me all the negative things, to feel sad, to feel depressed, to feel like hurting myself, to feel like getting back, to feel like getting revenge. And for them to all just shut up and stop being so loud and let me feel how I want to feel. This video is now 16 minutes long. Might be the longest video I've ever done. All right, y'all. Peace. Like, share, comment. Comment if y'all have any stories like this, because I don't know what to do. And I'm afraid that my heartbrokenness is going to consume me, and that I'm not going to be able to get what I want out of this. So, subscribe. Love you guys. Peace.